We are almost out of it, guys, and I've got one of my absolute favorite Halloween movies to talk to you guys about today. It is a B movie, and by all accounts, it probably is not going to be effective for very many of you guys, but it hit me at just the right age. It dumped its budgets into special effects, specifically makeup, and I don't know, I've loved this movie since I was about 11 years old. Why I saw this movie at 11 years old, I have no idea, and that's probably something we should take up with one or both of my parents. But let's talk about Night of the Demons. Night of the Demons is a cult classic from the 1980s. It centers around a bunch of kids breaking into this old, abandoned mortuary. It centers around a bunch of kids breaking into... Night of the Demons was a 1980s cult classic. It centers around a bunch of kids breaking into this old abandoned funeral home slash crematorium on Halloween night to have a rager with really bad, obscure 80s music because I don't think they could secure the rights to Kajagoogoo. So instead they used Bauhaus. It just works for me on every level. Even the acting is so cheesy and campy. The little brother is such a terrible actor. What the hell is on what the hell's on the TV in the background here? Everything just works in this movie, but specifically the makeup and the cheesy synthesizer score. It does everything in its power to amp up the suspense to me, to amp up the fear and the chills and the thrills. I love this movie, man. I just absolutely love it. The fact that it takes place on Halloween night, my favorite night of the year. Like I said, bad acting, but yet good. And here's an interesting thing. Scream taught us that there are certain rules in a horror movie. And yes, most of those rules are followed here, but there are also certain stereotypes in the horror movie. For instance, the blonde dies. The black guy dies. And all of these rules were established from 1980, specifically slashers, yeah, but horror movies in general. This movie thumbs its nose at the convention while the convention is still going on. It's clever in that. And not to mention, it features one of the nicest actresses I've ever met in my life with Linnea Quigley. She is a genre actress. She's been in so many horror movies. She's been in so many B movies. She's a scream queen. And frankly, one of the sweetest, most genuinely nice people I've ever met in my life. I love this movie so much, I sprung to get the special I love this movie so much, I sprung to get the special collector's edition of it. Like, I can't say enough about this flick, man. It's something that, if you haven't seen it, you should experience. Even if you don't like it as far as a movie itself, because it's not the best movie that's ever been made. It's not the best Halloween movie that's ever been made. Halloween itself from 1978 probably will always maintain that title, followed by tomorrow's movie. But to me, it doesn't matter. This movie is just picture perfect. It's everything that I wanted it to be when I was a kid, and as I get older, it's everything that I want it to continue being. It fills me with nostalgia from a time when I would watch it almost every time there was a thunderstorm for this one specific summer, and there was a lot of thunderstorms, so I watched this movie a lot. It spawned 2 sequels, both of which were progressively worse, and a remake starring Shannon Elizabeth and Edward Furlong, which is god-awful and should never have been made. And who the hell gave Angela horns in that movie? Why would you do that? But the demons are frightening. There are rules, even if they're unspoken in the first one, they're expanded upon in the sequels. And Angela has become a horror icon because of this movie. Like, it's just, it works for me. So that's going to take me out of this review. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet for you guys because we've got an actual episode of Sinful Analysis coming on for you tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And that's going to take us out of the 31 vlogs of Halloween. And after tomorrow, I don't know how I'm going to spend my time. Probably napping. I think probably napping. Yeah.